You will see this when God knows you're ready to hear it. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, you will see this when God knows you're ready to hear it. Yes, sir. Now, if you're ready to transcend, transition, and shift into the new you, drop in the comments and say, I'm ready. Yes, sir. If you are ready to transition, transcend, and shift into the new you, drop in the comments and say, I'm ready. But not only should you be ready for that, but be ready to receive big. Be ready to elevate. And be ready for God's prosperity over your life. Now, family, I need y'all to stay tuned in to the very end of this video, because what I'm about to tell you is about to confirm things, affirm things, as well as allow you to understand why this is important for you to watch entirely through, right? So, family, I want to go ahead and get directly into this. No need to give y'all a long intro. As y'all can see, we are outside in the green pasture. It's always an angelic time and divine video when we over here. You never know what's going to be said or done, but family, we going to get it done, all right? So I'm sending love, prosperity, happiness, prosperity, once again, elevation y'all way, because it's nothing but love, and I want everybody to know that they are loved. So family, let's go ahead and get directly into it. Number one, it is time for a divorce. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, it is time for a divorce. Now, I know it may sound harsh. I get that it may sound, unreasonable or even heartless. I get it. But when I say a divorce, I'm not just only speaking about your abusive marriage. I'm not just talking about that manipulative relationship. I'm not just speaking about that person who's in your life romantically. I'm not just talking about them. I'm talking about divorcing your old ways, divorcing your old environment, divorcing your old friends, divorcing anything that does not serve you a purpose. Somebody drop in the comments and say it's time for a divorce. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say it's time for a divorce. Now, when you think about the actual divorce, you have lawyers involved, kids involved, materialistic possessions involved. There's so many different things that can make it messy. And that's what I want to speak about, messy. See, as you are deciding to divorce old people, divorce old things, divorce old materialistic possessions, divorce old habits, it's going to get a little messy because somebody won't like you. Somebody will begin to dislike you for choosing yourself. But I need you to drop in the comments and say, I don't feel bad for choosing me. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I don't feel bad for choosing me. Now, whatever manipulative tactic they utilize or whatever they try to do to make you feel bad, please do not feel bad, okay? Here's the thing. It's not going to only be people who's trying to make you feel bad. Think about it. Yourself can be the very thing that's hindering you as well. See, it's not always the old people, old relationships, the old environments. Sometimes, y'all, it's our old way of thinking. It's our old way of thinking. And when you're used to doing something because of traditionalism, or when you're used to doing something because that's how you were raised or that's how you taught yourself, you have to understand something. You got to unlearn the bad stuff and relearn the good stuff. And sometimes we have to relearn how to think productively. Sometimes we have to relearn how to think godly. We have to relearn how to think positively, right? And so, family, it is time to divorce those old ways of thinking. And within that divorce, y'all, once it's finalized, sometimes you can feel lost, right? Sometimes you can feel unusual, like this is not where I'm supposed to be. I had a person who I knew, they said that after their divorce, they went into a store, and to be specific, Walmart, and they said that they cried because they were lost. They were used to going to that store with that particular person. They were used to going to that store shopping with that particular person. And it felt so unusual. But I told them this: you was not lost. You found yourself in lost lands. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back, I told them, you were not lost. You found yourself in lost lands. Reno, what do you mean by lost lands? You were in an unfamiliar environment. You were in an unfamiliar place in your life. So, lost lands doesn't mean that you was lost as a person. You found yourself. But you found yourself in a place where you were unusual with being at. You found yourself in a place where you seen it before, but you kind of lost what it actually meant. You lost how it actually looked. You didn't understand what it actually was. And then once you actually came face to face with it, you were lost. You found yourself in lost lands. Make sense what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Next thing I want you to understand as God is delivering this powerful message is kill your old self. Yep, I said it, y'all. Kill your old self. Reno, you being harsh today. No, family. I'm being real today. I need you to understand something. Your old self is the person that will kill your new destination. You can't take where you are to where you're going. You can't take where you are currently to where you're going. Why is that, Reno? Because there's new obstacles, there's new resources, new opportunities, and you have to understand how to carry yourself as such. You have to understand how to carry yourself as such. You know, y'all, one thing I know about the military, because I had some military friends, y'all, and they would share how things would go. And so, one thing about the military is they take you through this training called boot camp. This is before you actually is a part of the service. It's like they have to see if you are a part of this, entity, or if you're able to be a good fit for the service, right? And so what they do is they take your phone, they only allow you to be in contact with the people who you are around and them as well. They do not allow you to contact mama, daddy, sister, brother, cousin. Sometimes you're barely eating. You're going through so much endurance training. You're running. You're going through so much working out. It's like they're breaking you down to build you back up. Pimp style, right? A pimp break down his women and build them back up. But when he break them down, he stripped them of the things that they already have learned and known, and he teach them his way. So he break them down from their original selves, and he build them back up with what he know. He build them back up with his confidence. He build them back up with his knowledge. See, this is how this operates, except you got to build yourself back up with all the right things. You got to build yourself back up with godly things. You got to build yourself back up with the right information, right? So if you're trying to become successful in life financially, then you need to be reading financial literacy books. If you're trying to build your relationship or your marriage up, then you need to be reading from valuable sources, relationship and marriage books, people who are really living what they're talking about. Y'all know I'm not an advocate of buy things from people who are not doing it. I would never buy a mechanic book from a doctor. I would never buy a doctor book from a mechanic. You're not living that life. False. you are a false individual in that particular field. So you always want to get books from valuable sources. But y'all get my point. The point is, if you're trying to kill the old you, then you have to rebuild the new you with new things, but not only new things. Positive, optimistic, godly, successful things. Things that are going to contribute to your new journey. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Somebody drop in the comments and say, kill your old self, right? Kill your old self. You can't hang out in those same environments. You can't keep doing the same things that you were doing, or else you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So for instance, y'all, I realized, all right, Reno, if you want to do more numbers, well, you need to do something differently so you can get more numbers. So with that being said, is that a different thumbnail? Is that different topics? Is that starting off my videos, differently? That's why, if y'all haven't noticed, I get directly into my video because I wanted different results. And so I realized that, everybody don't want to hear, welcome back, Rich Minds. It's your boy. Okay, cool, I got you. I'm going to go ahead and get directly into the message. Now, the funny thing is, somebody love to hear it, right? And that's why I would never say, I would never stop saying, for my chosen ones in the back. I'm going to always say that. That's a part of me. But if I want to get different results, let's change something different about the video. And lately, it's been working out for me. But I be transparent with y'all to let you know that it operates for anybody. This is not just only for you. This is for me, the next man, or the next content creator. So what I'm saying is, y'all, I had to kill my old self and give birth to my new self. Make sense, y'all? Birth is a bloody business. When a woman is carrying a child for 9 months and then she finally gives birth to that child, you know what happens? That child is a beautiful baby, but it's covered in blood. It's a bloody business. So the beginning of your new business, it will be bloody. The beginning of your new relationship, it may be bloody. The beginning of you leaving your hometown, or the beginning of you deciding to do different things, it may be bloody. It may feel a little unusual. It may not feel how you typically feel. It may not feel like home. But understand that the birth of something new, in order to have the birth of something new, you have to kill your old self. You have to kill that old thing. Point blank period, y'all. All right? Next thing, sacrifice, okay? Sacrifice. Now, family, I know I always speak about how obedience is better than sacrifice, and that is a fact. That is true, and I will never take away from the scripture, or I will never take away from anybody who says, Reno, you said that obedience is better than sacrifice. Absolutely. But it does not mean that you should not sacrifice anything, right? It does not mean that you should not sacrifice anything. You must and you will sacrifice something in life. Another transparency moment. In order for me to get a better living, I sacrificed my car. I realized, I said, man, do I need certain things? And is this like a necessity? Do I need that extra bill every month? Almost $1,000 car, as well as car payment and insurance? Or do I just want to hold it down for a few years, stack my money up, and get something better? I'll be able to buy 2-3 cars. Sacrifice. See, everybody is not willing to sacrifice something. Everybody is not willing to give up something to gain in the long run, to gain in longevity. Somebody drop in the comments and say sacrifice something. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say sacrifice something. And that is what I understand. Jesus was a sacrifice. He died for our sins. Samson sacrificed himself. He took down the Philistines. Ruth sacrificed. The list goes on. Abraham was about to sacrifice his own son. He was about to sacrifice his own son. Reno, what are you saying right now? Obedience will always be better than sacrifice. Don't get that twisted. But sacrifice is still important, and it does not mean that you will never have to sacrifice. Oh, you got to sacrifice something, right? Next thing, y'all, number 4, explore unknown lands. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, explore unknown lands, all right? So, for you that may be leaving your hometown, for you that may be not depending on people as much, for you that may be removing yourself from around toxic family members, we all have them, whether it's one to all of them. Sometimes you have to remove yourself from toxic people that you've known your entire life because why? It's hurting you. But it is so unknown for you to do things outside of them to where you say, nah, I'd rather take the beating. Nah, I'd rather take the hatred. I'd rather take the manipulation. I'd rather take this because I'm not going over there to unknown lands. I get it. It feels safer. But see, when you're dealing with God, nothing is safe. You know, you never know when you may become homeless. You never know when you may have to sacrifice something. You never know when you may lose something. Job lost it all. But God gave him back to him, plus more. However, he had to go through something to get to something. Are you willing to go to or explore unknown lands? You may have to shift your career, shift your job, right? You may have to leave that job, that 9 to 5, and go to a better career. The things that you always dreamed of doing. It may be time for you to start school back. Get that GED, get that degree. It may be time for you to do something different in your life. And it is unknown lands. But again, y'all, you have to explore them. Somebody drop in the comments and say, explore unknown lands. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, explore unknown lands. It's very important for you to do so, all right? And you never know who you may meet on that pathway. You know, you may meet the love of your life, right? You may start a new skill, and that may be the thing that you love and make you the most money you ever made in life, right? You just never know. Explore unknown lands. Learn yourself. Figure yourself out, okay? Next thing, y'all, which is going to be the last thing, number 5, delayed gratification, all right? Delayed gratification. Now, family, everybody cannot deal with delayed gratification. Just because it is delayed, it does not mean it is denied, right? Somebody drop in the comments and say delayed, not denied, right? Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say delayed, not denied, all right? Delayed gratification can actually be the best thing that ever happened to you. You take a 10-year-old, you give them the new Porsche truck, a Lamborghini truck, and they 10 years old. You allow them to drive it. What happens? They crash the car. Well, Reno, was that a blessing or a blessing too soon? It was a blessing too soon, right? It was a blessing too soon. The car was great. The car was nice. It was actually a nice deed. But where the incorrect mistake became was allowing that 10-year-old to drive it at 10 years old, okay? They allowed that child to drive that car too early. And so the point remains, y'all, delayed gratification is sometimes the best thing for a person. Delayed gratification is sometimes the best thing in order for you to really know what it takes to sustain that thing. If you give a person $1 million on the street versus the person who had to work for every dime, who is going to appreciate it more? The person who had to work for every dime of that $1 million. This is why many people who are lottery ticket winners, people who won $190 million, or people who won $50 million, $300 million, they go broke in a matter of 5 to 10 years. You know why? Because they were awarded something too fast, right? They didn't go through the delayed gratification. And so they lack one word: management. Whatever you don't manage or whatever you fail to manage, you will lose. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Whatever you fail to manage, you will lose. You fail to manage your friendships, you will lose them. You fail to manage your business, you will lose it. You fail to manage your money, you most definitely gonna lose it, right? Somebody drop that down below in the comments. Management is key, okay? But family, I know that this video was heavy, but I told you, if you're watching this video, you're not watching it for a coincidence, and God knew that you were ready to hear this video, okay? But with that being said, y'all, for those who would like to book a one-on-one session with me, you can do so. I have a deal going on, y'all. Limited time offer. Y'all hit the link in my description or on my YouTube video, okay? Y'all get one of those books. Yes, sir, hoodies or t-shirts. And enroll into my social influence course, y'all. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Y'all keep a rich mentality. Peace.